welcome back to the channel Opinions Matter, and today we are using the EOS M50 and we are testing the M50 out in the market right now. So whatever is shot with a dual IS on. So as you can see right now, my focal length is 15mm and my autofocus system is servo autofocus. So we are going to check how M50 performs. As far as right now, my face tracking is good, so it's continuously tracking on my face. Now let's begin and see what's there inside the M50. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and this is going to be the first review of a Canon EOS M50. Now, a lot of people are really not selecting this. They're going for something else like an A6300 or A6000, but results are going to shock you. So watch this. I've done a detailed review of this right now, and I'm going to show you autofocusing has changed. So many stuff has changed on the M50 and why you should consider M50 as your secondary camera if you're a pro, or your primary camera to travel around with. So in the beginning, you will see there's a lot of customizable buttons. If you are coming from Canon's ecosystem, you'll be well versed with these buttons, but there are a little bit of changes here and there. The M50 unfortunately does not have an exposure dial on the top, so there is only two dials on the side. Usually they are always having an exposure dial, but you can get that on an M5 or M6. And you also get an electronic viewfinder. This EVF, when I was comparing with my Sony A7 Mark II, this was a little bit less crisp than a Sony A7 Mark II, but then again, that's $1,000 compared to $600. Apart from that, this is what you're getting, guys, and I love this full articulating swivel screen. This is a vlogger's like camera. This is a camera for me, who I'm when I create a lot of shots and stuff like that. So low angle shots is not a big deal with this. That is the reason I bought this camera, because I needed that articulating screen. Now if you're wondering how small is this, I've just kept my DJI Tello in front of it so that you guys can understand this is like a miniature sized drone kind of size. And yes, it does have a 3.5mm jack on the side, and at the bottom, unfortunately, they put the SD card at the bottom, not on the side. But then again, it's all about saving space, but the battery is a little bit disheartening, because that's an LPE12, and LPE12 will only give you like 300 shots, so it's basically not at all that power heavy. So I would recommend you guys to get like 2 or 3 extra batteries for it. Apart from that, overall I think the design is pretty nice. I like the grip in front, and guess what they did? Sony's have microphones on the top, but these guys, they have microphone in the front, so their audio quality is supposed to be better. So what I did is that I have brought a lot of stuff in front of you, and we are going to compare how the autofocusing and everything works on this. So let the test begin. So at first, now you can see right now I'm trying to autofocus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So once out of 6 it fails. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1 out of 7. So as per autofocusing goes, I think like this is doing an amazing job in autofocusing. Now we'll go for manual settings. I actually forgot to share you guys that you can go ISO from 100 to 12,800 as native while you're shooting videos, but when you are going for pictures, you can go to 25,600. Now look at this, touch focus is available, and this touch focus is doing an amazing job in tracking. It keeps the object, even though I'm moving, it keeps the object in focus and it memorizes that place. That's an amazing job, Canon. Now watch this touch focus when I try to focus between two objects. I'm now touching my session, and look how fast I am actually moving my hands, but then also it's focusing snap on. And to show more preciseness, I've kept in 3 different focal lengths, and I'm toggling between each other. You can see that it snaps on to that focus like really fast, and it is not missing a single bit of focus. That's how good Dual Pixel autofocus is. I can bet you, if you do not have much experience, you are going to face problem with other cameras, but this is a no-brainer. Now, from there, Canon has also introduced something which you will not find in a lot of premium DSLRs is creative filters. Creative filters is something like if you're a Panasonic user and you're a Fuji user, you're well accustomed to it. So the first filter is a grainy black and white. I'm a big fan of monochrome, but this monochrome gives you that feeling of an old kind of a vintage look. Soft focus is more like it creates a little bit of soft on the edges. So for example, you're shooting at an aperture 1.8 with your 50, you can actually get more softer kind of a focus. But for this, I'm using only the kit lens. I have got a video coming up maybe later this week with 3 different kit lenses. So this is just the kit lens. I have a 22mm and a 50mm lens review coming up very soon. Now, this is a fisheye effect. I didn't take any picture of it, just to show you that it is that bulbous kind of fisheye kind of a look. Good for, making some effects, but not one of my personal favorite. I usually do not shoot in fisheye. From there, we'll be going into water painting effect. Now, I do not use water painting effect. Who does it? I don't know, but Canon has included that. Well, that's a different thing. Now, this is one of my favorite effect, the toy effect, which means that it gives you a little bit of vignetting on the side, as you can see in the picture. Miniature effect is also one of my very favorite effects. Let me take a picture right now. As you can see, it makes it look as if it's miniaturized. So amazing job on that filter. One of my favorite filters is miniature effect. And from there, HDR, it takes 3 pictures together, gives you better colors and better depth. HDR is a definite go if you're shooting a lot of landscape and stuff like that. And after that, there is a HDR Vivid and HDR Bold and all that stuff. I was more into HDR kind of, not Vivid. Vivid is more like when you're going somewhere else. You have a lot of landscape. Unfortunately, I was shooting this on a balcony, so I didn't have a lot of stuff to, show about. But from there, we will be going into something called HDR Art Bold, which means that it makes your images much more sharper and gives it a little bit of filter here and there. From there, we are going to go to one of the most important part, which is movie recording. Now, recording on this guy is usually like full HD at 60 FPS. So as you can see right now, full HD at 60 FPS, but it shoots 4K also. Before we go into 4K, I've kept my focal length at 15mm, and this is what you're getting at 15mm. Now, when you are going to shoot 4K, it actually crops into 28mm. Let me show you right now. So this is 15mm. I'm just going to go to movie recording quality and size and change it to 4K at 30 FPS. By the way, it does 60 FPS also, so check that out. Now you will see that it becomes a little bit cropped in, which basically means that it uses the central part of the sensor, which is more phase detect heavy. So, I got no problem in that. A camera that has got 4K at 60 FPS, hell yeah, I'm taking that. But I have seen some little bit of problems with that, is that it is not at all good in autofocusing when you're using at 4K, and the digital image stabilization kicks in and all that stuff. Watch this. You have not seen this before. It's a touch and drag autofocus. So which means that you can actually pull focus with this. How crazy is that? Now watch this. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to take my tello and I'm going to try to pull focus to the toy or train that I'm having. So what's this? It actually follows the speed of my finger drag. If I drag it faster, it actually focuses faster. If I drag it less faster, it will give you a smooth transition. Wow. Isn't that innovative? Amazing job Canon on that. I don't care what people are saying. I just bought this and I feel good about it. I have a Sony, don't get me wrong, I have a Sony A7 Mark II in the channel. This is an amazing camera. Probably I'm going to use this camera more than I'm going to use the Sony A7 Mark II with the Zeiss 2470. But this autofocus system is amazing. From there, I'll show you a sneak peek into the menu. There is a setting that you guys can use is about called image stabilization. So in dual image stabilization, how good it is, we are going to go outside right now because I have to go to work, and on my way when I'm walking to work, especially walking for today just to do the review, I'm going to show you whether the digital IS does an amazing job or not. Alrighty, run and gun, and this is just an autofocus test of the EOS M50, and you can see I've turned on my dual IS system, which means that even though I'm walking with a selfie stick and a small tripod, I can actually hold it like this and I can walk and talk at the same time. Let's see how the results come out, as whether this EOS M50 can do stabilized. I do not have any gimbal or anything, so this is without any gimbal. Now the microphone that I'm using right now is a Rode microphone, and we are going to turn that microphone off and see whether the audio quality on this is good or not, because the EOS M50, it has dual microphones in the front. So let's check whether the front microphone works or not. Alright guys, so this is with the front microphone on. I do not have any microphone connected. So the first slide was with a Rode microphone. This is without a Rode microphone. So now let's see how the audio quality looks like, because I'm not seeing right now. Let's check how the audio quality is. Alrighty guys, so I was shooting in auto, and you guys saw the real-time difference between a AF test, and the EOS M50 does an amazing job in that. And so if you like this video and if you like this presentation, if you think that it was an honest opinion and I've touched base with all of the points, only then do give me a like and hit that subscribe button, because in this channel we will always present honest opinion, and honest opinions will always matter. So take care. See you next time in our next episode. By the way, if you are wondering what will be the next episode, hold on a second. I do have this 22mm f2 lens, and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use this 22mm f2 lens, and I'm going to check whether this STM lens is worth it or not. So take care.